Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today I'm reviewing one of my favourite micro brands on the market. We are of course talking about Phoibos. Today I have in there Phoibos Apollo Titanium. Now you've seen me review the Apollo V2, which was a left-hand dive watch. Now this one is a titanium casing and it has some really imaginative dials, as well as a handset that really does remind me of the Apollo landing craft itself. Now, a couple of things to mention before I get into the review. I've had this watch for a good while and I should have reviewed it by now, so I'm very sorry to Phoibos, but I feel like it's worked out quite well. They have a sale on at the moment, or at least they have a discount code available at the moment that will take €250 off the price of this watch. So I think that it's peak time for you to pick one of these up. They have the camo and lava dial in stock at the moment, and they are two of my favourite of the line. Now today I'm reviewing the white dial, which is actually pretty special too, but if you're interested, discount code, use it, €250 off. That's not my discount code, that's just Phoibos' own, sale. Also, this watch has been sent to me for free by Phoibos. I don't have to return it, and I'm very grateful for that because I am starting to build my own little collection of Phoibos. Phoebi? I don't know what plural is for it, but yeah. So, without further ado, let me turn this camera around and let's get into this review. This is the latest release from Phoibos. I have had a look onto their website today, and the only way to get them is through the international store, I believe. That comes in at just over $600. I'll insert the full price just here. For $600, you're getting quite a bit of a watch. You're actually getting what will be my favourite Phoibos that I've reviewed. I don't think anything that I've seen from them gets better than this. It's packed with all the specifications that you could want for a watch in that price range and a little bit more for me. And the design of it is just eccentrically fantastic, as well as the finishing to the dial and the casing. Let me talk to you a little bit about the specifications of it. So this is the Apollo Titanium. You've seen the previous iteration of the Apollo on the channel before. Again, absolutely love that watch. This one, titanium, absolutely fantastic on wrist. It still has that really rugged design that you come to expect from Phoibos. However, a little bit more of a curvature to the case on this one. A little bit more in terms of design shape for me. Still really nice, rugged and enlarged crown guards to the side here. This is a screw down crown. Hand winding movement. Date window, hacking, all the good stuff that you'd expect from this. This crown is also signed with the Phoibos octopus there. Really do enjoy that logo. Really nice level of grip to it. We have a very bold grip signature on this crown, and it really does flow well with the design of the bezel with that grip signature also. Talking of the bezel, it is 120 clicks, unidirectional. And we have a 60-minute indicator on this one. As you can see, numerals 5, 10, 15, so on. That is printed nicely in white, and I do believe we have a loomed bezel here. I believe it's BGW9 on this one. Let me tell you about the diameter of the case before I talk any more about anything else. It is 41.4 millimeters wide here to here. We are looking at a 12.9 millimeter thick watch. And I think that's very suitable for a dive piece. Lug to lug is 48.2 millimeters, and we have 22 millimeter lug gaps here for this bracelet. The casing is fully titanium, and it actually has a HV1200 hardness coating on this, which means the scratch resistance of this titanium piece lasts much longer than the usual titanium watch that you'll pick up. The usual titanium, even, because it is a very scratchable component. So we do need a hardness coating on this piece, and it will give it a little bit more of a durability through its lifespan. As mentioned, the grip to the bezel suits the flow of this watch, the flow of this crown. I think that's a very suitable design.
Another thing to mention is the lack of backplay or movement in this bezel. Now it's not always easy to get. A good fit with a titanium bezel, but Phoibos have done this absolutely fantastically for me. Ceramic bezel insert with a really nice brushed finish to it. This watch is packing a 9000 series myota, and you can see that through the sweep of that second hand. It really does give a much more premium effect for me. It's a 28,800 beats per hour movement. I believe it's a 42-hour power reserve. The myota 9000 series is very much a higher caliber of Japanese movement, step above the NH35, however not into that Swiss territory for most people. But it really does keep the cost down on watches like this. I mean, $600 isn't a small amount, however, for what you're getting here, it's a good deal. We have a flat sapphire crystal with 3 levels of AR coating on the underneath of this one. Very important for it to be on the underneath because we don't want any scratches appearing on that crystal or any marks. We have a screw down case back on the back of this Apollo titanium, and it has the usual information that we'd expect on a case back. The screw down nature of it really does help in the water resistance. However, it would have been nice to have maybe seen the octopus on the back of there also. Not that we look at the back of the case back, it's just something that I personally would have liked to have seen a little design extra, maybe. Now the casing and components of this piece give a 300 meter water resistance rating. Now I think that is very suitable, well that's more than suitable for a dive piece. Strange to name this the Apollo when it's a dive watch or a tool dive watch. I mean, if I had an astronaut getting onto the Apollo with a dive watch, I'd be asking some questions myself, but each to their own. We have a vertical brushing to the side of the casing and lineal brushing to the lugs. I really do like the level of brushing on the lugs. As well as that, we have a nice almost bead blasted effect on the inside of the bezel grip with a brushed finish to the outer edge. That really does give a very nice effect, breaks it up very well. As we move into the dial, this is really where the eccentric starts with this Phoibos, and I always expect a slight level of eccentric in their designs, and that's why I really do love their pieces. Now, the indices are very bold, very legible. They are printed to the dial and with a aged loom effect. So it's BGW9 with old rhodium effect on there. We have triangular, almost arrow-like indices at the 12, 3 and 9. The other indices are more simple, but with a little cutaway at the edge to give them a little bit of a distinguished look. Date window down at the 6 o'clock, and it does fit very well into the dial. That is also bordered with a loom border. Up at the 12 o'clock, we have the Phoibos logo, no print. I really do appreciate that on this one. I think that's the right design choice, no print on here. Just above the date window, we have automatic 30 ATM. Now we do have a chapter ring in this piece, and that plays the part of the hour markers. So we have the hour numerals marked from 12 all the way around on that chapter ring. The main hour markings, the 12, 3, 6 and 9 are a black with a white accent. The rest are just a black print against that white background. The real feature to this watch is the dial. Now this watch comes in a decent few different dial options. The camo and the lava are really the stars of this lineup for myself. However, this white grain dial is just absolutely fantastic. It gives an almost silver effect, a metallic effect to the watch that is really, it's one of those that you really do have to see in person. It almost gives that Seiko-esque type of dial finish in the quality of it. I am a massive fan of this dial, to be honest. I did want to get in the lava dial, however, this one was a really nice surprise for me. I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I do. I really, really love it. The silver effect really flows very well with the design, and it accents the titanium casing very nicely also. I think that it's probably one of the best dials that I've seen on a Phoibos, and that is truly just down to the finish of it alone. It really does give a almost precious metal effect to the dial. yeah, really enjoy that one. The handset is something out of this world, really, which is, suiting for the Apollo range. I really don't know how I'm going to explain these to you, so I'm very thankful that this is a video and you can just appreciate it. The minute hand is more of a arrow-headed figure, while the hour hand is more of a triangular figure. We have a skeleton base to the hour hand there, and it almost gives the effect of an Apollo craft. I think that it almost looks like the shuttle landing on the moon. Black borders with the same finished loom center. The second hand is a pencil thin second hand with a loom tip. All this talk of loom, let's get the lights out and let's have a look at this loom signature. So here you can see that we have a nice mixture of loom on this piece. The bezel is loomed with a pale blue, BGW 9 on the dial here, and it really does accent each other very well. Another nice little tip is that the tip or counter tip of the hour hand is also loomed in that pale blue to give a little bit of an accent. Nice to see that they've also loomed the date window there. Was the loom ever in doubt for Phoibos? I don't think it really was. They're always killing it. For me, this is definitely a 9. And that is because the mixture of usage for the loom, as well as that bright as hell, really, really bright, this one. So finishing off this piece, we have a 22mm band. It is a H-link design to this bracelet. I really do think it's a very nice fit to this watch, and it makes it very wearable, especially with these female end links. The clasp is simple fold over clasp with a titanium milled clasp in the center there. A titanium fold out clasp even. We have 4 levels of micro adjust, which is a suitable amount for myself. Screw links throughout the bracelet. Again, titanium bracelet gives a very nice soft feel to the watch, or to the wear of the watch. Let me pop this on wrist so you can see it on my 6¼ inch wrist. Here we go. So as you can see, the female end links really do help out a great deal to this watch. What also helps out is that it feels like a feather on wrist. No weight to it at all. It's just an absolutely fantastic daily wear. I really do advise titanium watches for daily wear purpose, just because they don't get in the way of anything. They are very easy to incorporate into your day-to-day activities due to the lightness of the piece. Added to that, I think that the hardness rating on this piece would really aid in that everyday wear also. Yeah, fantastic watch, this one. But tell me, Phoibos, where are your shortcomings? Well, I would have liked to have seen some taper in the bracelet. I just feel like it makes for a much easier fit. When it's tapered, it looks much more pleasant to the eye. It's much more aesthetically pleasing. I would have liked to have seen the case back signed with the Phoibos logo or something of the like. Even an Apollo playoff, I think that would be a really nice feature to the back. Obviously, we don't look at the back of the watch. I understand that, but when you're dealing with something that is as good as this watch is, you need to start picking hairs, don't you? You really do need to get down to the nitty-gritty of the item. Finally, one thing that would, this isn't a moan, however, it is something that would bring this piece to a next level. I really do think that if we had some chamfered edges here with a polished finish, that would really just complete this entire watch for me. As well as that, it is always nice to see a horizontal brushing to a side profile over the lineal. I really do think that the vertical brush does cheapen the look of a watch slightly. Aside from that, again, Phoibos with an absolutely incredible offering on the market. And for the price that these are, I'm not shocked that they've sold out in Europe. If you wanted to pick one of these up, the Chinese warehouse seems to have some stock available. Otherwise, sign up to Phoibos' newsletters and make sure that you are first through the door when these restock, because they're going to sell quickly again. So that is the Phoibos Apollo Titanium. As I mentioned, I have reviewed the Phoibos Apollo V2. That was a left-handed dive watch that I really did enjoy, but I think this one really does blow that one out of the park. I think that this is an absolutely fantastic offering from Phoibos, and to be honest,
That's completely what I expect from them now. Miyota 9000 series movement, a hardened titanium casing, and that dial is absolutely beautiful, as are the other camo dials. I think they're very, very unique. Now, if you wanted to pick one of those up, as I mentioned, they have a discount code, Apollo, at the moment, and that will get you up to 40% off on their website on those models. And honestly, at that type of price, it's hard to refuse this one. Thank you to Phoibos for sending this one in. I really do appreciate it. Again, I'm very sorry for taking my sweet time with this one, but I'm hoping that the timing worked out well for a lot of us. Thanks for watching this one, guys. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.